We got Legacy Builders US in the building. What's going on? What's popping?
Peace, fellas. What's going on? Everything is good, blessed, and highly favored.
Yes,
Can't
sir.
complain. How about you guys?
Chilling, you know. It's out here living life, enjoying every minute of it. You know what I'm saying? Because what else is there to do besides that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What can you do?
Absolutely.
Man. But so today's topic is time is money. So yeah, go in. Let them know what that's about.
Yeah. So I feel like a lot of people waste time, right? And time is a form of currency, right? And money is a form of currency, and people don't realize that time is just more than just money. It's actually like life. It's highly disrespectful to waste someone's time, especially your own. Because when it comes to money, you could, to a degree, always get it back. It's in circulation. It could always come back around. But time you can't get back.
Right.
It's important to utilize your time wisely because you can't get it back. What are you doing with your time? And a lot of times we actually just waste it by a lack of preparation of our day to day. And it trickles into you wasting someone else's time. So, for example, let's say, Mr. Locario, I have a meeting with you at 3 p.m. Right? But if I don't get there until 3:15, and you already scheduled something for you to do something at 3:30, now I just interrupted what you have going on. I disrespected your time.
Right.
And you can't get that back. You can't get that time back. And all I can say is, I'm sorry.
Right.
Sorry. What?
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And a lot of times those things happen. So I think it's super important because we don't realize how much our time affects everybody else's time.
Right.
Around us. And then we're affecting the people around them, their time. And it's a trickle effect. And people don't realize how important that is. And in a sense of money is concerned, that's where the value comes in, because you're literally losing money based off how much time you've actually wasted.
Right. That's some real shit. So Rashidi, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man. Yeah, the point in time is money, man, and poor planning costs you money at the end of the day. Give you the perfect example. Just today, I had to get my real ID in New York, and because I had poor timing, I left across the bridge from Jersey to New York, which is $30 across the bridge these days. Went ahead and crossed the bridge and got the DMV appointment too late and had to reschedule. So I wasted $30 across the bridge. Had to come back to Jersey because I had to go to the office, and I have to go back to New York again because I got to Connecticut later. So me wasting time literally just cost me $60, about an extra 3 hours of my time.
Yeah, well, I can hear what you would.
So so time is money for real, and money, time is currency at the end of the day. And a lot of people don't realize how important it is, man. Not planning properly, that you see, case in point, it just costs you a lot of money. Not planning properly have you in situations. I mean, even to go even deeper, time is so valuable. Time is so much currency and money, so much so. I was telling Kayleen about this today. I don't know if I should admit this on air, but on the way back from being from the DMV, I hit a bum today. You know what I mean?
Say it again.
So what happened was I was turning.
You mean you stopped and a bum ran into your car? That's what you mean.
There we go. That is the correct terminology. Thank you, sir. So we all know that could have cost a tremendous amount of money. Now, thank God, he was Superman and popped back up. Extremely upset. I won't say what happened after that, but had that been a normal pedestrian, that would have, insurance would have got involved, and that could have been a $200,000 claim. So that's how valuable time is. And if I planned properly and prepared properly, I would have never been in that situation. I'd have never been driving there at that time or any of the above. So time is really money. The mistakes we make and the improper planning will find us in difficult financial situations all the time.
Right.
So King said, Miles, I thought you said the economy was going to get better under Trump.
Come on, Miles.
He's trying to come at you, Miles. You want to take that, Miles?
Yeah, but shit, all of my portfolios are looking better, nigga. What are you doing?
Oh! Miles said you're a brokey, King. He said you're a brokey.
All of my portfolios look better than they did last year. I have no idea what you're doing or where you put your money. or are you just kind of like responding to the narratives that you're hearing in the news?
Right.
You understand? Because shit, my mutual funds and all my shit look better than last year, homie.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know what you're talking about.
Nah, real shit. Man, so but I like this topic though of time is money because I I'm very anal pause about time. You feel what I'm saying? Because like that's the thing, I hate wasting time and I don't like wasting other people's time. I'd rather lose money than lose time. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's just, the thing is people don't realize that when you don't respect your time, right? Then other people aren't going to respect your time. And then you're also going to not respect other people's time. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, a lot of times I can tell when a person is, successful when it comes to making money and stuff because their time is limited. And you can tell based on how they interact with you, like, how successful they are. I noticed the people who have who are very successful when it comes to like finances and business and all of that, these motherfuckers don't got no time. You understand what I'm saying? So you might send them an email and their response to your email is 2 words. You understand what I'm saying? It's like they just go straight back to, you know what I'm saying? Or they'll have like an assistant do it or some shit. Or like you can't get on the phone with these guys and shoot the shit for like 10 minutes. Like 10 minutes, right. You might as well ask them for like 6 months of their life. That's how it feels. Like, it's like 6 months to a motherfucker who got a lot of shit going on. You understand what I'm saying? And so I think people got to understand how important time is because once you start to do your thing and once you start to focus on yourself and once you start to focus on what you got going on, you'll realize how much time you don't have. You feel what I'm saying? And so The thing is that most people who have a lot of time on their hands, usually, not all the time, but usually are the folks who don't really have a lot going on. You understand what I'm saying? And so the thing is that if you're dealing with someone in a business sense, or even you're dealing with someone in a relationship, romantic sense or whatever, and they don't have the same sense of urgency and time as you do, understand that if you deal with them, that could infringe and, pull down on your time and what you got going on because you're involving yourself with someone who doesn't have the same time consciousness as you. You feel what I'm saying? That shit always will go down.
That's a real state. That's such a real statement right there. Mm-hmm. And it could be in a relationship or just any type of relationship, whether it's a romantic relationship or just a friendship as well. Like if their time consciousness is not on the same wavelength as yours, then that can, like you said, pull you down. Right. And that is super crucial, even in the sense of, like you were saying earlier, the conversation with a rich person was like 2 minutes, right? Mm-hmm. Because they realize that every second is valuable. Right. Versus someone who, doesn't value their time like that. They can spend too much time on nonsense. Right. Major in the minors on things that don't really matter. Mm-hmm. So then you could have a meeting with a group of people or your team, and it can last a long time. Let's say if the meeting was scheduled to last an hour, but then the meeting lasts about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. That extra half an hour to an hour was wasted based off, and it could be emotion, it could be whatever it is, but it was wasted regardless because of the sense we didn't have the sense of urgency of what we needed to talk about and get off the call. Like, time management is so important. Even when I used to go to these events, right? The company that I used to be partnering with, they used to have these events. Right. And every time a speaker spoke on stage, one of the key things that they were doing every time they spoke in the beginning, the middle, and the end of their speech was how much time do I have left? Right. Like literally before they even start the speech. How much time do I have? Okay, 10. Okay, got it.
Right.
Within the 4th or 5th minute, how much time? Where am I at with timing? Okay, great, thanks. And so because it's always on their mind of where they're at with time.
Right.
It's that constant. It's that important. It's that serious.
Mhm.
And I think that a lot of people in the future should be more conscious of how they're spending their time and reflect. Are you one of those people that are wasting your time, or are you one of those people that actually utilize your time to the highest capacity?
Right.
And you got to ask yourself that question. And I feel like we've all been, we've all felt victim to that to a degree.
Mhm.
Like, we've all been there.
Mhm.
But as we grow, as we elevate, we got to be more conscious of how we're spending our time, because once again, you can't get that back.
Nah, that's real shit. That's real shit. It's funny. I I remember I had a situation, right, where I had a girl that I like, some girl that I hooked up with, a few times, whatever. She came over, and I said to her, or I said, yeah, come through. We'll make something happen. So in my mind, I was like, okay, she's gonna come here, or she's gonna be here from this time to this time, right? And so I told her, I said, listen, I got something to do at this time, so we got to be done by this time. She was like, cool, yeah, sound good, whatever. So now what happened was that she got there like 10 minutes late. So that infringed on the hour that we had, right? So then I was like, listen, we only got like 45 minutes, 50 minutes, so just letting you know, right? So she said, oh yeah, that's cool, whatever, right? So next, we were done about 10 minutes before she needed to leave, right? Which was enough time for her to get dressed, call a car, and bounce, right? So then what happened was, and I needed her to bounce at that time before the time, whatever. So then what happened was she picked up her phone, called her friend, and as she was getting there, I heard her, she said, hey, I'm over here. Can you pick me up? So as soon as she said that, I turned and I was like, what? I was like, who? Because as soon as she said that, I said, in my mind, I was like, wait a second. So she want her friend to pick her up. I don't know how long that's going to take for her friend to pick her up so she get up out of here. You understand what I'm saying? So now I'm like, fuck. You understand what I'm saying? So we both dressed, and I'm looking at her. I was like, yo, what time your friend coming though? And then she was like, oh yeah, she'll be here, really, really soon. I said, no. I said, but what time though? Like,
right.
And then she was like, oh, why you acting all weird? And I said, because I need to be doing this at this time. And then she was like, oh, well, that's okay. She's like, I can just wait outside. I said, no, I'm not gonna have you standing outside. You understand, by yourself, just, you know what I'm saying? So I said, listen. And so then luckily the girl texted the girl, and the girl was like, oh, I'm like 2 minutes away. And I was like, all right, cool. So I kind of like calmed down, because I was like, okay, she'll still be here in enough time for me to do what I need to do. That whole time I was just like really frustrated, because I was like, if this situation creates where even a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes over, that ruins all the other shit I'm trying to do you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And it could be just 5 minutes. You understand what I'm saying? That messes up a lot of shit. Now, again, that was still my fault, because I should have told her, listen, call the Uber, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, or call a car or whatever. But it was just like, this shit happened so quick. And I was like, fuck, that means that I might get my time wasted now, which is going to cause a ripple effect for the other things I need to do. You see what I'm saying? So people don't realize how important time is, because the thing is that other people don't care about how important your time is.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So she didn't give a fuck about my time like that. You know what I'm saying? And so she don't understand how important that is. And to her, it could probably be, oh yeah, it's whatever, because she doesn't like think of it that way. And this is why it's important a lot of times that people who you deal with in your life, generally, right, need to be on that same page as you. Because 100%. If they're not, it's going to fuck with your situation and your time. You see what I'm saying?
I think also there should be deadlines. Got to give people deadlines.
Right.
That's in business and in personal life. The reason why deadlines are so important is because it's a measurement of how it's a measurement of your standard of how important your time is.
Right.
So, for example, like I'm supposed to link up with some of the fellas this weekend, right? We're supposed to go bowling. right? And I told him, I said, if I don't get an answer by Wednesday, I'm going to take it that we're not doing it.
Right.
So if you don't get back to me by Wednesday, by the end of the day on Wednesday, then I'm gonna call it off.
Right.
Because I need to have time to plan it for Saturday.
Right.
And you have to treat everything like that. Even when it comes to certain business deals.
Right.
Like the negotiations have to be quick. Why? Because you're still in competition indirectly with someone else. So if they don't get your product, if they don't get the product from you, they're gonna go somewhere else.
Right.
Why? Because you've taken too much time to make that decision. So I think everything should have a deadline, once again, to measure the value of your time. And like you said earlier, people will start respecting your time the more that you respect your time. And I think that's super important across the board, because even in business and business and personal life, they are two separate things, but they're so synonymous in a lot of ways. So then when it comes to, someone's time, you can lose a lot of money because people won't take you seriously because of how long you're taking to do something.
Right.
And that's the key. That's the morale that I want people to understand on this call, is that you don't have a limited amount of time to do something with your life in general. Like you think that you have this, and because a lot of people are casual with their time, so they think they have this magical, unlimited amount of time to do something. Like just yesterday, we were like, we just turned 18, but now we're like, full on grown adults.
Right.
That was just yesterday, believe it or not. Like time is literally passing us by. And if we don't make sure that we do the proper things in the right time, that's why we focus on retirement with our business. Because one of the hardest things to do, Mr. Locario, Miles, Ra, is to explain to somebody how important 30 years from now is.
Right, exactly.
Like, I'm trying to explain your future to you.
Right.
But it's hard to fathom that because you're living in the now.
Right.
But I wonder, it's almost like that, like a cartoon where they show you like with the Christmas and they show in the past, the present, and the future.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, that's my job to show you what you don't see yet.
Right.
And it's going to happen. It's inevitable. Things that are going to happen. But if you don't respect the momentum of now and take advantage now, you'll never be ready for later.
Right.
So it's super important, man. Super, super important.
Right. Yeah, man. And to piggyback on what you said too, is people don't realize that, time is of the essence. You know what I mean? And time waits on nobody, to the point Mr. Locario made today, you made, look at the timeline of events that happened for me today. I was up at 6:30 in the morning. I really should have left my house at, 8:39, but instead what I did was I took a shower. I was like, let me just catch a little bit of ESPN to the playoffs from yesterday. Watched a little ESPN. Then it was 9:15. I'm like, I got to get out of here. So now I threw on my outfit. I was like, I got to iron my shirt. Now I'm ironing my shirt. Now I had an important call at 10 a.m. and I was supposed to be at my destination, in the original destination in New Jersey at 10 a.m. So I'm like, too much time wasted. So then now, instead of me leaving supposed to leave at 8:30, now it's 9:30. I said, let me just sit down and wait for the meeting at 10 a.m. Did the 10 a.m. meeting. The meeting ran over about 10:45, not respecting time, which then caused me to be late to the DMV, which then caused me to go over the bridge, pay that money. Then on the way back, like we said earlier on, a bum ran into my vehicle. And then from there, back in Jersey now. So to your point, Ms. Locario, time is so valuable. Like you said, it even goes deeper than 5 minutes. 10 seconds. It takes 1 second to change your mind and change your trajectory with time. That can change everything dramatically. My day started out, if I started out my day properly, I would have saved $200, which I didn't. I almost got a lawsuit against me within those moments, within those couple moments of couple decisions. That's how valuable time was. My decision making could have cost me anywhere from, not only did it cost me $200, but it cost me $200 and at least 4 or 5 hours of my time being wasted, and potentially, like I said, a lawsuit with my insurance policy, which could have been over $100,000, and points on my license, which would have cost me even more money. So that's why we say it all the time. Like, time is super valuable, man. It's crazy. Time is really currency, and it really impacts money. It really impacts how you live every day. It impacts how everything does. That 1 minute can change everything in your life. That's how serious time is.
Thanks.
Nah, that's real shit. That's
Real talk. Real talk.
And I think a lot of people I think people who don't focus on themselves, their goals, what they want to happen in their life, and who are very distracted, they don't have a good relationship with time, because those are the people who believe they have all the time in the world to make what they want to make happen, because they're not in the situation now to realize how much time they've wasted to get to their goal, and also how much time needs to be put in to get where they want to go. So what I mean by that is this. Like, I remember I had this guy we knew, and he would always joke to me and be like, "Yo, Lucario, you should hook me up with some hot girls and shit." And this dude was a virgin. He never got no women. He didn't do nothing, right? And I used to look at this guy and I'd be like, "Yo, he doesn't realize how far behind he is, because he's wasting time joking with me about getting him a girl." And I'm like, "Bro, you don't know how to talk to women. You don't interact with no girl." Like, he's been wasting so much time thinking that, kind of like, if I want to make it happen, I'll just do it next week or whatever. But he doesn't realize how much time he needs to even get to the point to be decent enough to deal with women, right? And it's the same thing with, for example, someone in business. There's people that you probably know who always talk about being an entrepreneur, but they never take the step to do anything. Like, "Oh yeah, I want to own my own business. I'm thinking about doing this and I'm thinking about doing that." And so they think they have all the time in the world to do it. You understand what I'm saying? So they're like, "Oh, I'll do it next week. I'll try it next month. I'll try it in later this year." And it's like, if they do actually start to do it, they'll realize, fuck, I didn't realize how much work I need to do to be successful. And now I realize how much time I wasted not doing anything, because they get to the point where they're like, "Damn, if I would have started this 5 years ago, I would have been in a better position." You see what I'm saying? And that's what people don't understand, is that most people who don't respect time don't have the awareness of how important time is to getting things done, or to being in a certain position or spot, or going in a certain direction. You see what I'm saying? Like, they have no idea what that even means or what that entails. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, and this is why, as an individual, you have to, if you're time conscious, you have to recognize people who are not. And so you might want to stay away from those people, because guess what's going to happen? Let's say you're doing business. Somebody who's not time conscious wants to do business with you. And then you're like, "Nah, I can't do business with this motherfucker because he's always late. The nigga never finishes what he needs to do. He always got some excuse. So what the fuck am I going to waste my time dealing with this motherfucker?" You see what I'm saying?
No, it's a real thing. That's a real thing. And even to add to that, right? It's almost like, well, we do in business, right? So when, let's say if you want to invest in a stock or a mutual fund or something like that, right? You could miss the window of the opportunity for when that stock goes up and you've profited on that stock because you wasted time not even investing. You're just overthinking it and don't pull the trigger on actually investing into that or bond. Same thing with, when we talk to people about purchasing a home, the value of the home is going to continue to increase. So the longer you wait to say, "You know what, I'm going to take that step and actually move forward and purchase this home," the value is going up. So, and the interest is not necessarily going to go down in the sense. It can, but would it really? So you're just wasting more time on not purchasing that home.
Right.
The older you get, when it, the two things that the insurance based a quote off of is your age, which measurement of time, right, and your health. But the older you get, the more expensive the insurance costs. So the longer you wait to purchase insurance, the more money it's going to cost you. And that's just you wasting time saying, "I'm going to get it later." For what? You're just wasting more time and costing yourself more money.
Right.
So it's always synonymous with time and money. People don't realize how, important both of them are and how they're so synonymous together. And they have to realize that they need to, take advantage of it. Be a teacher of time. Say to yourself, just be one with time. Just take advantage of it. Like you got to just do it and stop overthinking. I think overthinkers is the father of procrastinators. When you overthink something, that's the worst, because you get into your head. You've convinced yourself that you're not worth doing this thing by creating all these scenarios that in your head, mind you, that's where it stays. That's where it lives, in your head, believing that you can't do something.
Right.
And then to your point, Mr. Lucario, how much time has been wasted on overthinking. Now that thing never gets done or gets delayed for something that could have been started 5 years ago. You're now starting it. So the mistakes that you could have made 2-3 years ago, you're now going to have to make those mistakes a year from now.
Exactly. Right.
You get what I'm saying? And that's the thing. And people don't, that's huge.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, people don't understand, you know what I mean? Because let me see this question. AJ Lino said, would you say knowing the value of time is part of having game? For instance, a chick I hollered at yesterday called me and said we can hang out as long as I drop her at the store after. Excuse me. He said I shut that down. Well, yeah. Of course you need to shut that down.
This nigga trying to get game. He trying to get game on the Money Game show.
Right. But yeah, but it, you know, and it's all, you know, guys, you just got to understand how important your time is, so that you protect yourself from time wasters. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you, it's like, you know, because I'm sure, you know, we've all been in them situations, especially like if you're dealing with, like, you might even deal with family, you might deal with certain friends or whatever, or even you might have in the past, like, dated a girl or dealt with a girl who was like a time waster or whatever, or even done business with somebody who was a time waster. And the thing is that the more you become successful in what you're doing, you're able to recognize the people who are on the same page as you, because they also don't want to waste time. Like, I love when a motherfucker, I can tell when I'm dealing with someone who don't like wasting time. And I love that shit. I'm like, yes, this motherfucker got shit going on. You understand what I'm saying? So that if I decide to work with this person, I can tell, okay, they are actually about what they're about and they're doing the thing. So I don't need to think about them infringing on me, because I see that they're so busy doing their shit and they're not wasting their own time. You see what I'm saying? So that's the type of motherfucker that I would actually want to work with. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly.
Real shit. So any last things you guys want to say, or you think people should know about this topic?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think time is money. So I tell all the listeners, all the guests, don't waste no time and go to the website and book an appointment. Just get your finances in order. That's the last thing I tell everybody.
Right. So guys, make sure you go to legacybuildersus.com. Do you have any other events coming up?
Yeah, we do. So we have 2 events. We have on 161 Rockaway Boulevard in Queens coming up on that's the right address?
Yes, that's right. So we're gonna have the flyers. We're supposed to have it last week. We're gonna have the flyers for sure next weekend to on our site. Actually, it's coming up this week, is in regards to posting on the site. So we're gonna have it on the site this week, but it's on May 31st in Queens, New York, 161-15 Rockaway Boulevard in Queens, New York. That's for Protect and Prosper. We're going to be talking about anything under the umbrella of finance. So make sure if you have anybody in the New York area, make sure you have people come out to that. It's going to be a crazy event. We also have another one on May 31st, that same day. But the ladies for our team, it's going to be like a contribution to, like, you know, mothers and things of that nature. They're going to be. And do you know that location, Ron?
Yeah, so that's going to be in Windsor, Connecticut. 995 Day Hill Road in Windsor, Connecticut. So that is on the site, and that is on Eventbrite. That particular event's already up there. So go in there. If you have any mothers in the area, any mothers in the area, women in general, tell them to pop out to that event. It's going to be, a good time. Then we also got one more event in Connecticut, June 21st. Don't want to miss this one. If you're in New York or Jersey, drive out. It's going to be a community barbecue.
Big time.
No cost to the public. That is on the website already. June 21st, come out. Community barbecue is going to be food. The first drink is on us. First adult beverage is on us. After that, you got to pay. But free plate of food, one adult beverage. After that, but community event.
Exactly. Because Because there's food there. That's less time that you gotta waste trying to find food.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it's kid friendly too, because we're gonna have a bouncy house for the kids.
Mhm.
Have our homie Ely James. She's gonna be performing. We're also
Mhm.
going to have, I think it's a dancer, what was it? Some type of dancer?
Yes, yeah, she's some type of dancer. Passions, the dance studio. Yeah, somebody from the dance studio. So I'll be there. Mhm.
Yeah, it's gonna be a mini carnival back there. So.
Oh shit, they're going. Wait, I heard you said dancer. I heard hose. So guys, make sure y'all come. Got hose.
Oh man, but yes, it's gonna be dope, man.
Yeah, make sure y'all go out. That's less time y'all gotta waste trying to find chicks to holler at.
But
You ain't lying, because they're gonna be in there. I'll tell you that much though.
be there for sure.
What's up? All right, people. So we are out of here. Make sure you guys go to legacybuildersus.com. We will holler at y'all later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. We out. Later.